Napoli have just won Serie A, so why on earth are we calling this a rebuild? Well, things are changing fast. We've got rid of Antonio Conte and now the Flying Scotsman stepping in with one mission, taking Napoli to that next level. We're talking defending the Scudetto they won last season, winning the Coppa Italia and chasing the first ever Champions League trophy. And how are we going to do it? By using some Scottish firepower with me, the Flying Scotsman at the helm, Scott McTominay and Billy Gilmour, the two key engines in this Napoli machine. This isn't your typical rebuild, this is a mission to turn champions into legends, so let's get right into it. So here we are, the first rebuild of FM26 on the beta obviously still, so we'll get straight into it. As you can see, if you couldn't tell from the intro, we are managing Napoli, and if you also couldn't tell, I have two Napoli kits behind me, just a normal one, and then I'll get obviously my boy Scott McTominay there. So straight into it, we're on the club page here. As you can see, we've got the about the club, etc. We've won Serie A 4 times, including the most recent season, so we need to defend that trophy this year. Because it's season 1, I don't make any transfers in the first season. So what we'll do first is we'll take a look at the fixtures, see how we've got on in pre-season. So we've beaten Wisla Krakow 2-1, goals from Politano and Scott McTominay. We've then beaten Citadel at 3-1, Politano and McTominay both scoring again, as well as Anguissa. Unfortunately, we get battered 3-0 by Lazio at home, which was not great, especially against domestic opposition. Pro Vercelli, we beat 4-1, 2 goals from Hoyland, 1 from Politano, 1 from KDB. We then had a barnstormer against Ascoli, winning 5-3. Lobotka, Luca, Politano double, and Anguissa getting the goals there. And then a pretty good result overall. 1-1 draw at the San Siro to Inter Milan, Politano scoring there. So as you can see, Politano's had a great start to the season. And if I actually go and take a look at the squad we're using for the season, I think we've got a really good squad. So we have, goalkeepers wise, we've got Milinkovic-Savic in on loan and Meri. They'll be fighting out for the number 1 spot. We've got Buongiorno, Boakema, Romani. Juan Jesus will probably be the kind of starting centre-backs, the ones we use. Full-back-wise, we've got De Lorenzo, Oliveira, Spinazzola, Miguel Martinez. Some great players here. In the midfield is where it gets really tasty, I think. We've got Lobotka, Billy Gilmour, Zambo Anguissa, Scott McTominay and KDB. We have those 5 players fighting out for 3 starting spots, essentially. And then on the wings, we've got Politano, Neres, Elmas, Noah Lang, and then up front we have Lukaku when he's back from injury, Rasmus Højlund in on loan, and Lorenzo Luca on loan. This squad is really good. If we actually look at how we're going to set up this season, what we're going to be doing is, if we look at the tactics, so I've teamed up with Maddox. You'll have seen his tactics before across the sites. He's helped / made me this Napoli tactic. I say helped, he made the entire tactic. I just told him what I wanted and he's done it. So, as you can see, both in and out of possession. In possession, we're going a 4-3-3, out of possession, 4-1-4-1 this season. This tactic download link will be available tomorrow out on all these sorts of sites with a couple of different variations, so keep your eyes out for that. And you may be surprised, Scott McTominay will be playing on the left-hand side as an inside forward. That is because if you look at most recent games under Antonio Conte, he's been playing on the left-hand side of midfield, and you maybe wonder, is that where he's always been playing for Napoli? Because he has been scoring a ton of goals. And he obviously won Serie A Player of the Year last year, so it's obviously working and being in those forward areas. So he's getting locked in on the left-hand side, as well as Billy Gilmour is in the channel midfielder role, centre mid when out of possession, because, as the intro said, I am winning the Champions League, if I can, with these two Scottish midfield warriors. If we look at it combined, it looks like this standard 4-3-3. Obviously, if we pick our best 11, we will take a look and see it lines up Murray in goal, De Lorenzo, Romani, Buongiorno and Gutierrez as the back 4, Lobotka in the DM role, De Bruyne and Zambo Anguissa as the 2 midfielders, McTominay left hand side, Politano right hand side and Lukaku up front. So McTominay may not need locked in, but I've locked him in just to be sure that he will be playing. And now that we've put them back there, you can see it's already bugging out because it's saying that the striker and left back are injured even though nobody's in position. But that's where we're at. If we take a look at what competitions we're in for this season, we are in the Champions League. The board wants to reach the quarterfinals. We've got the UEFA Super Cup. We're in the semi-finals of that. Board don't care. I don't care. Unless I win it, I care. But obviously, if you get knocked out, you don't really care. Coppa Italia, they want to reach semi-finals. And they want to just qualify for the UCL and Serie A. So, Serie A is obviously the top 4 guaranteed Champions League qualification. Fill it down. Depends on how clubs get on, etc. throughout Europe. So, that's how we're doing this season. We are Napoli. Can we go on? Can we defend the Scudetto that Conte won last year? We'll skip ahead to the end of the season. But before we look and see how we've got on, just want to say a massive thank you to everyone who helped me along my journey in FM24. If you're liking this content and want to see more, please like the video, comment down below who I should rebuild next, comment who you think is the standout star of this rebuild at the end, subscribe to the channel, and if you want any of these save files, my Patreon link will be down below, or if you become a channel member, you will also get access to these. This is the last rebuild like this on the channel, just because it's the beta period. I'm just doing it the way I've used to do it. However, I am changing it up once we get further into FM26, so keep your eye out, subscribe, and keep notified. So in the league phase of the Champions League, as you can see, we finished in 9th place, just missing out on that bye, and we're going to have to go in the playoffs. We won 4, drew 2, lost 2, scored 16, conceded 9, finishing 14 points. Annoyingly, this doesn't show you what your results were. Like in the old game, you used to hover over it, it would pop up and tell you exactly what your results were. Doesn't do that. Hopefully it does once the fixes are out. So we've managed to get through to the knockout playoff round, and in the knockout playoff round, we have unfortunately been beaten 5-3 in aggregate by Atletico Madrid, which is unfortunate. Probably pretty evenly matched sides, I would say, but it just wasn't to be this time. And in the Super Cup, annoyingly, we lost out to AC Milan on penalties, but there you go, it's the Super Cup, I do not really care. But in the Coppa Italia, we started in the third round, we beat Pescara 3-0 there. It will not let me click on the result for whatever reason. In the fourth round, the quarterfinals, we beat Atalanta 2-1. From there, into the semi-finals, we beat Roma 2-1. So I think it's going to be a tough one. We have Inter Milan in that final, but we managed to win in penalties. So we've lifted our first trophy of the rebuild. The Coppa Italia is coming to Naples. First trophy in the bag. And unfortunately, that was our only trophy of this season because we finished 1 point below Juventus in the Scudetto to finish in second place. We scored 72 goals, conceded 35, so we were pretty evenly matched with Juventus. They scored 1 more and conceded 3 less, so we were really on their tail the entire time. Can I click it and see the progress? No, I cannot, because that's also bugged out. And if we look at the squad, if we look at Scott McTominay, we can see he has scored 20 goals and got 10 assists. Absolute phenomenal season from the Scotsman. Would you expect any less based on real life? And also, just look at how good he is in FM26. He is absolutely amazing. His mentals and physicals are absolutely insane. He had a great standout season for us, as did many other players. Lorenzo Lucas, 16 goals, 11 assists. KDB, 13 goals, 9 assists. Politano with 11 goals, 14 assists. Lukaku, when he came back from injury, had 10 goals in his 15 games. And the other man I'm building this team around is Billy Gilmore. 10 goals and 14 assists for the defensive midfielder, channel midfielder as we were playing him. Again, he looks so good. Great first touch passing technique and decent vision. Great playmaker there. He's going to be doing a lot for us throughout the next couple of seasons. And other goals well spread out as well. We've done well here. It's unfortunate we've not won the Scudetto. It was agonising to lose out by 1 point. But for this coming season, if we take a look, we have £32.5 million in the transfer budget, £282,000 in the wage budget. So let's see how we can do. Can we bring in those little extra players just to push us over the edge and take that title back from Juventus, get to the end of the transfer window? So we're now at the end of the transfer window. Go through the friendlies, go through the first game of the season because that has passed, and we will also talk about the new signings. So friendly wise, we lost FC Dallas. Not great. We then lost to Sporting Kansas. Again, we are not doing well in pre-season. We then managed to beat Houston 6-2, a 4-goal haul from Scott McTominay. That's what we like to see. We then drew with Bayern Munich 1 each, so we're starting to get a bit better in pre-season. Lost 2-1 to Fiorentina, and then, as you can see in Serie A, we beat Inter Milan 2-0. And if you can see, Ademola Lookman scored twice, so do you want to hazard a guess who one of our signings is? And that's right, Ademola Lookman has come to Napoli on a free transfer. This guy is out of contract at the end of season 1, so please, if you can take one thing away from this video, please sign him on a free contract because he is absolutely amazing. He's got great dribbling, finishing and first touch. He's got good flair, good acceleration, agility. This guy can be an absolutely lightning quick winger on the side and a real handful for anybody. But that's not going to be a problem for us because we've signed him for absolutely nothing. And the massive signing this summer was Alessandro Bastoni for £88 million. Yes, it's a lot of money for a club like Napoli, but just look at how good Bastoni is. He is one of the best centre-backs in the world, in my opinion. 27-year-old, he's Italian, homegrown. This guy is going to be here for the entirety of the rebuild, and he's just so good. I'm so happy. He is such an upgrade on what we've got. I'm shocked that we've been able to sign him, to be perfectly honest. Now to the outs, Juan Jesus is left in a free. He still looks fairly decent, but he's 35-year-old. We've brought in Bastoni, so unfortunately he wasn't really going to get much game time. Jesper Lindstrom's also away for £2.2 million to Schalke. Just didn't really play for Napoli over the years. He was out on loan here and there. In fact, last season he actually spent on loan at Wolfsburg. Obviously, before that he was at Everton. He doesn't look that good in Football Manager 26, so just thought we'd get him out the door. Mazzocchi has also left. He's away to Saudi Arabia for 5.25 million. 31-year-old, he wasn't really going to play, so again, just get him out the door, bring in the funds that we eventually managed to get Bastoni with. And another centre-back who left was Rafa Marin. Maybe should have kept him around as a backup. 24-year-old Spaniard. He looks decent, not great, but again, he was out the door. He actually left for £6.5 million. He was on loan at Villarreal last season, so thought we'll just get some more money in. Basically, every sale was so that I could get Bastoni through the door. That move was delayed and delayed and delayed, and eventually selling Rafa Marin meant we could bring in Bastoni, which I think was a masterstroke. Because when we look at our best 11 now, it is Merritt in goal, Di Lorenzo, Buongiorno, Bastoni, Gutierrez back four. That back four is solid. Midfield three of Zambo Anguissa, Gilmore, De Bruyne. The forward three of McTominay, David Neres, and Adamola Lookman. So I think you'll agree that selling some of those players to bring in Bastoni was a stroke of genius on my part. I'm going to take that win. I will call myself a genius if this pays off at the end of the year. So that's where we're at for this season. Let's skip ahead to the end and let's see, can we pip Juventus to the post this season, and can we go a bit further in Europe, because that knockout playoff round exit was not ideal in the slightest. So let's see, fingers crossed we go further in both competitions. So here we are at the end of the season. We finished one place higher in the Champions League to finish 8th, qualifying automatically for the next round with 5 wins, 1 draw, 2 losses, 16 scored, 9 conceded. So we made it through, we've bypassed the knockout round. We're in the round of 16 where we have managed to beat Bayern Munich 5-3 over 2 legs. That's absolutely phenomenal for us this year. In the quarterfinal, unfortunately, we were knocked out 4-3 by Arsenal. Unfortunate to go out in the quarterfinals, but it's one step further than last year. And in the Super Cup, we were knocked out in the semi-finals again, this time 3-2 to Lazio. So again, not really fussed about the Italian Super Cup. And in the Coppa Italia, we managed to beat Sassuolo on penalties in the third round. Getting into the quarterfinals, we managed to beat AC Milan 2-0. Good scalp there for us. In the semi-finals, it's a very interesting semi-finals with us, Napoli, beating Udinese 6-3 and Bologna beating Lazio 4-3. So, 3 teams there you would maybe not really expect. I would maybe say Napoli you would just assume would get to the semis every year, but we won it last year, so it makes sense we'd kind of get there. As we said, 6-3 win over Udinese, and in that final, we beat Bologna 1-0 to lift the Coppa Italia for the second season in a row. And this time in Serie A, we managed to win the league by 1 point instead of losing it by a point. But it was Lazio that pushed us all the way this time. We won 24 games, drew 9, lost 5, scoring 75 goals, conceding just the 34 to finish on 81 points. Juventus had a monumental drop-off, going down into 5th place with 66 points. So we were 1 behind them last year, we're now 15 ahead. So that's a swing of 16 points. Absolutely phenomenal from us. And if we just kind of take a look at the squad and the players that did it for us, we will see exactly the same. Scott McTominay, 24 goals, 8 assists for the Scotsman. This guy is so underrated in real life, and I would even say he's still underrated in Football Manager, to be perfectly honest. I may just be biased because I've got McTominay top behind me, and I'm Scottish, but I don't care. This guy's an absolute beast in Football Manager. And fellow compatriot Billy Gilmore, also 6 goals, 21 assists for the Scotsman, 25-year-old. He is so good. The two of them are just absolutely unplayable in this game. And as well, Lorenzo Luca, brilliant season, 24 goals, 8 assists. David Neres with 12 goals, 7 assists from his 18 starts. That's really good. Politano, 12 goals, 16 assists. Kevin De Bruyne, 8 goals, 14 assists. Again, goals, assists, spread out really well. If we actually take a look at some of the newer signings, how did they get on? So Bastoni, as you can see, started 49 times, scored 3 goals. He's on the way down apparently. Hopefully that's not the case for long term, because he was a lot of money. He was a shit ton of money, to be perfectly honest, excuse my French. So Bastoni, done well. Adamola Lookman, he started 3 times. He scored 6 goals and got 2 assists, but he only started 3 games. He came in for free, so it's not a waste of money, I suppose, but I would have maybe thought he'd start more. But obviously Luka, and I would say Lukaku probably started more. Lukaku got 13 starts as well, so I might need to lock in Lookman for next season, because it was only McTominay and Gilmore that were locked in. Lorenzo Luca I'd locked in for the final of the Coppa Italia, just because I would rather he played than Lukaku. So now we're going to go and we're going to see exactly how much money we have to spend this season. £14.5 million. £328,000 in the wage budget. I must say, getting further in the Champions League, winning a double, and I've been given just shy of £15 million. That is not what I was hoping for, that is not what I was expecting. Where can I find the club's finances? Here we go. How are we doing? They've only got £24 million in the bank, so maybe I'm being a bit harsh, but I don't really think I'll be able to do much with £14.5 million. Obviously, the debts here, net debt's £53.6 million, so that'll maybe be why we're not getting quite so much money spent as I would like. But as we have seen, Coppa Italia holders, Serie A holders, so let's even go one step further in the Champions League. Can we get to a quarter-final, semi-final, maybe even a dream final? We'll need to wait and see. Let's get to the start of season number 3. So we are here at the start of season number 3 on the 2nd of September 2027. We'll take a look at our transfer business first this time. The only notable player to leave was Andre Frank Zambo-Anguissa. He left for free, going to Atletico Madrid. He is a player I really would have liked to keep around. He did play a lot for me, but he was just not wanting to stay for whatever reason. He decided he was leaving, and he's away to Atletico Madrid on £205,000 a week, probably more than we would pay him, but it's a shame to see him go. But he was replaced by another free signing, and that is Benacer, the Algerian defensive midfielder and centre mid. Still looks really good in Football Manager. I think you will all agree it was a bit of a shock when we saw that he went on loan to Dinamo Zagreb this summer. He then came back to AC Milan and he played a lot, but they didn't renew his contract. We've got him for free, so a steal for us in all honesty. He's now valued between £30 and £37 million. He'll be great for us for the next couple of seasons. Next up was some right back depth, and if you can actually look, depth is what he is best at, because apparently he can play absolutely everywhere other than goals, although he's got a goalkeeper rating of 3 out of 10, so maybe he could. So it's Frederick Schoivold. If I have got that correctly, I am a genius and I am surprised. The Norwegian international is coming for free, valued now between £11.5 and £14.5 million. As you can see, he's not great, but he's a depth option that can pretty much fill in anywhere, so it was a bit of a no-brainer. We also signed Dastan Satpayev in on loan from Chelsea because we needed a bit more strength and depth up top. He looks good. He's only 19 years old, Kazakh international. He might play for some games for us, he might not. We just needed some depth, and he covers all 3 forward positions, which is kind of what I was looking for. And the last signing is one for the future, and it is Ryan Francisco, the 28-year-old Brazilian striker. He's a breakthrough prospect here, valued between £5.5 and £7 million. We signed him for just bang on £7 million. Looks good, plenty of room to develop. Fingers crossed he can develop under Lukaku and Lookman. We'll need to wait and see. And tactically, you guessed it, we are going for Marix's Napoli version 2.1, as we've done throughout this rebuild, because why fix what's not broken? And again, why fix what's not broken? McTominay and Gilmour locked in. They are not going anywhere. They do only 2 players that I am locking in for this rebuild, because as I said in the intro, I am going to win that Champions League with McTominay and Gilmour by my side to have the holy trinity of Scots winning it, or else my name isn't the Flying Scotsman. So have a look at how we've done so far. Friendly wise, we beat Monza 2-0, 2 goals from Scotty McTee. We beat Atalanta 1-0, Lorenzo Luca. 2-0 against Vicenza, Noah Lang and Luca. Beat Bologna 4-2. Then if we take a look, first game of the season, we drew with Como. Not great. We then lost to Torino 3-0 at home. And then we lost to Venezia 1-0. So it's not a great start. If we actually take a look at Serie A, we are down in 16th with 1 point. We are already 8 points off the pace in defending our title. Maybe we are just the Juventus of this season. They dropped off by 15-16 points. Maybe we're going to drop off by 15-16 points, although we're already 8 points off after 3 games. So if that's the form we go by, we're going to drop off by about 80 points. Let's hope that's not the case. But anyway, I digress. Let's go to the end of the season. Let's get to the end of season 3. Can we somehow not get relegated, please? And maybe win the Champions League. That'd be good if we won the Champions League but got relegated. That'd be a really interesting season 4. But let's get to it. And despite the shaky start to the season, if we take a look here, although it does not tell you anywhere on this pop-up, we were in the Champions League final against Man City and we demolished them 6-2. Lorenzo Luca with 2 goals, Buongiorno with a goal, Scott McTominay, Kevin De Bruyne and Adamo Lookman meant that there was no reply from Manchester City. And if we actually take a look at it properly, in the UCL, if we look at stages, we can see here, in the final we won 6-2. So that's the Champions League in the bag. So that will be the final season of this short beta rebuild. we'll just take a look and see how else we've got on as well. If we actually take a look through the entirety of the Champions League, so in the league phase this time, we finished 6th, 5 wins, 2 draws, 1 loss, 21 scored, 10 conceded, finished with 17 points. Round of 16, we beat Monaco 6-4 in what looks like a barnstormer. Quarterfinals, we beat Real Madrid 3-2. In the semis, we beat Arsenal 5-4. We are getting through just by the skin of our teeth. And then in the final, we absolutely trounced Manchester City 6-2. Absolutely phenomenal. And in terms of other competitions, if we take a look, we will see in the EA Super Cup, we lost on penalties to Inter Milan again. I don't care about the Super Cup. I really don't care. But it'd be nice to finish with a high there. In the Coppa Italia, if we take a look, we managed to win that final 1-0 after extra time. It's bugging out, we can't see anything on there, but we did win that 1-0. So that makes it 3 Coppa Italias back to back, I'm sure, for Napoli. And then in Serie A, you can call me the GOAT. We've managed to turn it around and win the league. 26 wins, 6 draws, 6 losses, 75 goals scored, 36 conceded, to finish on 84 points. Inter and AC just 2 points behind us, but we have done it. We have lifted Serie A once again. Take a look at the squad page, see how they've been doing on. I obviously played the Champions League final just because it was the final, so that's why players are in position. If we take a look at the goals this season, Lorenzo Luca managed 28 goals, 10 assists. Kevin De Bruyne having a renaissance season, 21 goals, 12 assists. Scott McTominay, 21 goals, 16 assists this season. Let's just look at how good he's been for me. Season 1, 20 goals. It doesn't tell you the assists at the bottom for the total competitions, which is a bugbear of mine. Season 2, 24 goals in all competitions. Season 3, 21 goals in all competitions. And as we see, he's somehow got a 6.99 this season. That's a load of BS in my opinion, because he is the greatest of all time. Alongside that, Sapiev, 18 goals from 22 starts, really good. Admiral Lutman, better year for him, 14 goals, 14 assists. Billy Gilmore this year, how did he get on? He doesn't seem to be anywhere unless I am going blind. Billy Gilmore this season started 55 games, didn't score at all, but got 9 assists. So he's kind of digressed a wee bit this year, but again, he's a Champions League winner, Serie A winner. We've actually just won the treble. I've only just realised we have won the treble this year. That's how all over the place the screens are in this game. In terms of other signings we made, Benacer, 41 starts, 1 goal, 1 assist, so reasonable for him. Really, really good season all round for us. Did the Norwegian play Sjøvold, 26 starts, 17 sub appearances, so he did quite well. He's now wanted by some Middle Eastern clubs, so that's kind of where we're at. So because we have won Serie A, we've won the Coppa Italia, we've won the Champions League, I have reached my 3 objectives at the start of this, and as we can see here, we won a historic treble. It doesn't even let you click on this. I can't click on this piece of news, but we have won. Oh, there we go. So as we saw, we have won a historic treble, winning Serie A, the Champions League and the Coppa Italia. It's been phenomenal. It's been a great rebuild. It has been buggy due to, obviously, it is still a beta, but if we look at our career, we look at my history, will it be in here? 1 trophy, 2 trophies, 3 trophies. So as we can see, we won the Coppa Italia consecutively from 26 to 28. We won Serie A in 2027, 2028, and we left the Champions League in 2028. So in 3 seasons, we have done phenomenally. Thanks for watching again. Like, share, and subscribe for more content coming in FM26. Also, comment down below who was your favourite player of this rebuild, and as well, let me know who I should rebuild next. Hopefully, in the coming weeks and months, the rebuilds will look a bit more aesthetically pleasing. For whatever reason, in my beta, I cannot go back and look at goals. I can't look at replays from previous results, or else I would have shown you some of that. Unfortunately, it just didn't happen. But again, if you want your hands on this rebuild file, the link will be in the Patreon, or become a channel member. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.